Okay, we're in volume 8 of my book set, The Bible Stories by Arthur S Maxwell. They're all blue. They're about 70 years old at least. They may have not been open for 50 years. I'm going by, you know, they may have been read to my husband when he was little. And these were kept in his grandma's house, whose house was like a museum. Okay, and we got a painting by Herbert Rudin, and it has a representation of Jesus talking to a group. And this is what it looks like. Pretty, pretty watercolor, I think. That's just me. I'm just, being an art nerd, I can pretty much tell. And the books are offset a little bit. Okay, the caption reads, as the people sat around Jesus on the hillside, he told them of his coming kingdom and of his home being prepared for those redeemed through faith in his sacrifice on Calvary. So, if you hadn't known, he does go to Calvary, but that's later, because I'm sure we get to the next book and then it'll probably be Calvary and then the Acts and then all the other stuff. But let me digress. We are in part 2, story 1, Secrets of Happiness. Jesus was not only the Prince of Healers, he was the Prince of Teachers too. He had something on his heart that he wanted to tell people, and he told it so simple and clearly that they loved every word. They listened to him just as long as he would talk to them. He had come from heaven to tell them about God. He wanted them to know that God is a God of love, that he is kind, patient, and forgiving, yet at the same time, a holy God who expects his children to be good, pure, trustful, and obedient. He talked much about his coming kingdom and what a happy place it would be. A place where everybody would love everybody else and nobody would ever do anything wrong, unkind, or mean. Anybody, just anybody, could belong to his kingdom, just as long as he believed in Jesus and was willing to do as he said. And he didn't have to wait a long time to turn the page. Enjoy the happiness of that kingdom. He could have it now. Certainly God is love. Sure of his watch care, and the believer in Jesus could live without a single care or worry, his heart forever bubbling over the joy and peace. Ever bubbling over with joy and peace. This is what Jesus meant when, sitting on the mountainside one day, he said to the people who are sitting all around him, and then it's the blessed beast, or the Beatitudes. That's what they're called, Beatitudes, but they're blessed be. It depends on who we are and what thing. But let me read what it says. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs there is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the weak, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they who Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure of heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, and righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which are before you. In other words, Jesus told the secret of true happiness, to be blessed, to be truly happy, he said, depends on how we live before God. If we, you and I, keep humble and never let pride come into our hearts, the kingdom of heaven will be ours, not only in the future, but now. If we were truly sorry for our sins and mourn for them because they offend God, He could comfort us with His forgiveness. If with all our hearts we long to be good, God will bless our lives with victory over all temptations. If we are kind and merciful to others, we shall have the joy of seeing them merciful to us. If we keep our hearts pure and refuse to think evil thoughts, our minds will be clear to understand God, and great will be the happiness that will bring. And, sorry, 70-year-old diction is not my forte, and I really don't read very well anyway. But let me go. Let me get back to this. If we try to be peacemakers, loving others instead of fighting them, all sort of blessings will be ours. Excuse me. But best of all, we shall know for sure that we are the children of God. If we get into trouble for doing right and are misunderstood for following God's way, we need not to worry. All will come right in the end. His kingdom is ours, now and forever. We can even be happy when people try to do us harm. No matter how mean they become, we can rejoice and be exceedingly glad. For God knows all about it and is saving up a great reward for us in heaven. And then it has different images on here. And it's a two-pager. And it's like, it's a two-pager. Each little drawing has these listed at the top, and then that, and the ones at the bottom, and then we go across, and then we go up, and that was the end of part 2, story 1. Okay, so this is going to be, apparently, these are going to be his his little stories, Jesus' stories. So that was the end of part 2, story 1. So we're going to stop, take the break, and then we'll start on our next story. See you in a bit.